Hiya, it's Talking Reds. I'm Josh Sexton, joined today by a debutant to the video scene, Stu Wright. Stu, how you feeling about your debut here?
Tremendous, to be honest with you, mate. Yeah, it's the first day of the summer holidays, so yeah, I couldn't think of a better way to spend it.
Exactly. Stu's had a big year already. You got married recently, and you've got a baby on the way as well. But I'm sure this is probably the biggest bit for you, isn't it?
Highlight of the year, without doubt. Yeah. So yeah, let's crack on. Talk about the Reds.
Yeah, defo. The Reds played last night. For those who didn't know, for those who didn't get a chance to see it, they actually lost 3-1 to Borussia Dortmund. Not the best start to the tour of the USA, but a couple of key things to highlight. Karius back in the headlines again for all the wrong reasons, as you can imagine. Makes a mistake early on, which doesn't actually end up leading to a goal, but then makes one later on in the game, which does, and it's almost getting a bit sad now, Stu, isn't it? It's at first, there's the criticism that comes in, and a lot of it's warranted off the back of Kiev when the mistakes happen and it's in a Champions League final, and particularly thousands of fans have gone over there and will be fuming about the fact that this player's almost not single-handedly but has played a big part in them losing the game. But now it's just getting a bit sad, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's really sad. I think the biggest anxiety for the fans of the club since the Champions League final has been, what's going to happen if we start the first game of the season and he's still number one. But we've moved past that now. We've made a hell of a statement in the transfer market, and we've made a sign of the world record price goalkeeper. So I think that any question marks over that now have gone, and I think that should remove any anxiety, and therefore I don't understand this need for some to still be getting on his case, really, because what we are watching is really sad. This guy is just coming apart at the seams. I've never seen someone fall off a cliff like it, really, in footballing terms. So it just feels like he needs to be taken out of the spotlight now. I noticed he's done an article today, he's done an interview saying he doesn't know what his future's gonna hold, really. But
and that's the thing, that the Alisson purchase must have affected him as well, because when Liverpool are going out and spending that world record fee on a goalkeeper, it's not going to be good for him to know that he spent all last season being number one and now he's not going to be that. But then it also begs the question as to whether he can even be a number two for Liverpool now, such is the damage that's been done.
Yeah, I think it's very, very hard for him to stay at the club now. I think the best thing for him is to be able to get some space, and whether that's on loan or whether that's a permanent move, I'm not sure with his current profile at the moment that he's going to be able to get a current move, a permanent move. So I think maybe the best thing for him would be perhaps to go back to a club in Germany on loan for a year and try to rebuild his career and rebuild his confidence, and that may lead to a more permanent move further down the line.
Yeah, and looking sort of in front of Karius in terms of literally in the defence. Van Dijk gets the goal last night. It was a bit of a bullet header, but he was unmarked. But he's showing good signs already in pre-season. And one player that sort of was showing good signs into the game, but then goes off with injury last night is Matip, and you're wondering what the future holds for him now. Not necessarily saying he'll have to move off the back of this, but he's looking more and more like a player that Liverpool can't really rely on.
Yeah, and there's an overriding sense of that with a few of the centre-backs, isn't there, really? But I do think that this was Matip's chance. Lovren's going to be coming back from the World Cup quite late. And this was his chance to try and establish a partnership with Van Dijk. I know the manager said that it's only a slight turn. Hopefully it's not going to be too serious. But you'd certainly imagine that it's going to knock him out for a week to 2 weeks. And before you know it, Lovren's going to be back training as well. I do think that, listen, in a perfect world, we could do with strengthening in that area. I'm not convinced of that Gomez is quite ready yet. Still, certainly if he was going into the season as the main centre half, if we did have a couple of injuries, I'd be concerned. But there's a couple of weeks in the window left to go, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, it looks like he's trimmed down a bit, Gomez. So I wonder whether, because I think a lot of people assume that he'd be a sort of centre half option in the sense that when Milner didn't want to be left back anymore, Klopp only considered him as a midfielder. I think some people perhaps thought that going into the season, Gomez would only be considered as centre half, but he plays right back last night, and he has a fairly good game, but he does look like he's trimmed down a bit. So you wonder whether Klopp doesn't even consider him as that option anymore.
I don't know. I mean, I'd be surprised if he's considering him as a right back. Now Klein's back. You'd think that very much Trent and Klein will have that nailed down. The battle will be between those two. And if Liverpool don't make a move for another centre half, then you've got to think that Gomez should really be considered amongst the pool of centre-halves that we've got. But, you know, I think it's important now over the next couple of games that Klavan gets minutes under his belt, because, you know, he has been fairly reliable, hasn't he, from an injuries point of view. And I think there's a very good chance now that we could be starting the first game of the season with a partnership of Van Dijk and Klavan.
Yeah, and in terms of other standout performers in the game, Nabil Fekir has another great one. He's starting to look like a really good acquisition for the Reds. But also John Gibbons had a solid performance last night. For those who follow the Anfield app on Twitter, would have been able to see John doing bits. And there's quite a funny story from the night actually, which Craig Hannon tweeted out today about Adam Lallana, where he's sort of walking through the mix zone and says no to a couple of the media outlets, and then notices the lads and says, "Oh, is it the Anfield Wrap?" And then he decides to do the interview with them, which, you know, it's good for us in particular. But yeah, nice one to Adam for that. But you will be able to see a bit of the lads doing bits out there and interviewing a few people. And here's a couple of clips of that.
Virgil, you'll have a Mo Salah there. You scored the goal. You showed them how it was done. Those strikers.
Exactly. Yeah. No. He's still having a bit of a break. He's coming back next week, so hopefully he starts scoring again as well.
Do you think about how many goals you want to score in a season? Seriously, do you set yourself a target? Do you think, you know, you're a big guy, you go for corners, or do you worry about stuff like that?
I don't worry about that. I worry about the defense and hopefully, you know, getting as much clean sheets as possible. And that's the main part. But obviously, scoring a goal is always nice, and I try that. Hopefully, it will happen more often than I did the last couple of months.
You haven't been at Liverpool that long. It feels like you're a proper Liverpool player now, but it's only January. You probably settled. Are you enjoying the area? Do you enjoy the city?
Yeah, I enjoy every bit of it. You know, it's been fantastic for me and my family, and without the boys, without the help of my teammates, the staff and everything, you know, it wouldn't be that easy as it is right now. And it's all now down to the work on the pitch, and that's what I'm trying to do as well.
And a word on Alisson. You've got a new goalkeeper playing behind you as well. He's a world record fee. I presume you've seen him play. Are you excited to play with him?
Yeah, you know, he looks like a very good goalkeeper.
He's massive, isn't he? He's nearly as big as you.
I think he's bigger than me, to be fair. But no, yeah, it's we'll see. We'll see. I think you meet up next week, so we'll see and start working together. And you know, it's gonna be interesting, and we'll see how it goes.
And last question, obviously we're a Liverpool fan site. What should Liverpool fans expect for next season? Should we be optimistic? Should we be thinking about glory? You know, we love to dream.
Yeah, we try, and I'm not gonna. It's not good to talk about the future too much, and I think hopefully we're gonna, you know, enjoy it as we did last year, but hopefully with something to celebrate on.
As long as you scored again against Everton, mate, we'll be happy. All right. Adam, you're looking sharp in pre-season, I think, mate. Are you feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Listen, pre-season's perfect for me, exactly what I need. Just time to get fit and find my rhythm, and I think that's my 45 minutes now. And I'm feeling good, even in that heat. It was tough out there at times. Obviously, it's the same for both teams, and you know, it's in the bank. And another couple of strong sessions tomorrow. Another couple of strong games out here, and I'm just excited to be back out and feeling good.
I'm sure it's been a bit of a frustrating time for you. You must have had mixed emotions watching the England boys in the summer, thinking you should have been there. You're just raring to go now. You're just looking at next season and thinking, like, you know, you want to show the brilliant player we know you are.
Yeah, listen, you can't dwell on the past. I supported England as a fan in the summer, and you know, my best mate was there playing ever so well. So yeah, I was supporting them just like you. I'm sure I'll be back with the squad come the next friendlies in September, I think. But I'm just focusing now on getting my body right, and it is. You know, I'm lasting out there. I'm feeling good out there. But it's just about getting my rhythm back now, and that will come with games.
A couple of new signings that Liverpool fans are excited about in midfield. Fabinho, Naby Keita. You've seen them very closely. How good are they, and how excited should us Liverpool fans be about them?
Listen, they're settling in very well. Both got very good qualities, and it's been great for them to be with us from the beginning of pre-season, because I've been there once. It's not easy to settle in. Obviously, I was fortunate enough to speak the language, whereas I don't think Naby speaks the language. You know, Fab speaks a little bit more, but it just gives them time to settle in and bond with the lads. So I'd be very excited if I was Liverpool fans. they just can't wait to get going.
Just last question. Obviously, Jürgen seems to prefer a 4-3-3 now. You've played in both the midfield three and the forward three. Where do you see yourself moving forward, primarily playing?
Yeah, I think if you want to see, the best out of me, it's probably in the midfield three. But listen, that's speaking selfishly. I'll play wherever the boss wants me to play, and I've proven that before, where I play in the front three or the middle three. So yeah, wherever you ask me to play.
Oh, it's great to have you back.
All right, cheers, mate.
Jürgen, obviously, we always aim to win the game. You didn't do that today, but the fans incredible. Does it still surprise you, the support all around the world that Liverpool have?
I thought now today was really exceptional. So that we had a few games. It was nice in Sydney. So since I'm in, we had in Hong Kong last year nice atmospheres. That's true. Here was, to be honest, it was exceptional. So, and that's cool. I know that the club is big, how I said, but it's not surprised me. But it's rather that it gets always another confirmation. Yes, here as well. So it's nice. And that's then for me the problem. Actually, you are here, and then all the people are there. And I want to win the game then. So we could have won the game. Obviously, we should have, if you want. Game after final business after 65 minutes. What would have been a proper time today, because it was really hard. Then if you then 3-0 in lead, then I think nobody can really moan about that. But now we have to work with that result, and we will do that, and it's all good.
In terms of preparation, I know you'd probably be rather running them into ground in a German training camp or something, but when you're out here, you must think that this is pretty cool, actually. So, all the supporters to come out, not just for the game, but things like open training and coming to the hotel, and it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, but we try to do. I know. I heard a little bit that the people in Liverpool are not 100% happy about that, because obviously we don't do things like that in Liverpool. We know that, but the problem was yesterday. But it was only 1,000. I don't know how many people. Maybe 1,000 or 2,000. I have no clue how many people it was last year. And
less than that.
Yeah, and it's already difficult security-wise. If they go nuts, then we have a problem. So what we try to do, that's actually the last game of the preseason, is for like a season opener. We want to give back for the people in Liverpool. We know it's difficult, but we don't want to give the people the feeling that in the USA and Asia we are really close to people. We aren't closer there. We live in a hotel and not at home, so we come in front of the hotel and people are there. So that's a big difference. And we tried to do with the game against Torino, we tried to do something different like in the last year. So to open it really for the Liverpools, suppose from Liverpool or the area surround, I don't know, cities around, and hopefully they take that, because I don't think that people fly in from all over the world then to Liverpool and to see that game, hopefully. So we want to involve that in the next 2 years, that we have really kind of a season opener, but for that we need to have the players around. If we do that really as a season opener, the first day of the preseason, then I come in and the people only know 4 players. That makes not too much sense. So, but we know about the problem and we will work on that.
Yeah, so if you want to see more of that from the lads, do subscribe to Dan for Rap and look out all over our socials as well, because you'll see all the coverage of what they're getting out there all over that. In terms of non-Dortmund game news, then sort of kicking about at the moment, Stu, Fekir looks like he might be signing a new deal. There's rumours going around that he's been offered a new contract, which could finally kill these hopes of any summer move for him.
I'm just at the point where I don't care, to be honest with you. I'm just so tired of it, and I'll almost be relieved if he signs a new contract, because I just feel like we've started to be lulled into this feeling of there's no one else out there, there's no other options. And last night was a timely reminder that we've been linked with Pulisic in the past. I know he said some nice things about the manager over the last couple of days, and we've been interested in Brandt before, and I think that, yeah, great if we can get Fekir in, fantastic, but it just seems to be, I'm not convinced, to be honest with you. I'm not convinced that we're going to follow through with that one now. But there just seems to be a level of, an air of desperation from Lyon and from Arlas to constantly relink him with us. And I mean, we don't even know for sure if he's going to sign this contract. There's just been a bit of a rumour on Twitter, or something coming out of French media.
All the reports from France recently have been that he really wants his Liverpool move, so it wouldn't make much sense, really.
No, there's a report there, I think coming off one of the French media sites, that he potentially would be signing a contract later today. But listen, it remains to be seen. If that does happen, I think that probably tells us an awful lot about the reasons perhaps why Liverpool didn't go in for him. The medical reasons perhaps. caps, and there may well be even clauses written into that contract. Maybe he's accepted he needs to stay on at Lyon for another year, but he doesn't want to be put into that position by the chairman again, and he's got a clause like we've seen before with Suarez, you know. So yeah, I'm just tired of it. I would definitely like for us to pursue another option. I think we need an absolute blinder. I'm not totally convinced it needs to be someone who plays in central areas like Fekir predominantly does. I would love to see us linked with someone like a Brandt or a Pulisic, to bring in someone like that, so that we can alleviate some of the pressure off Mane and Salah, but also Firmino, because Salah can play up front. Yeah. And it also, if we do that rather than buying a centre forward as well, we can you're leaving room for Brewster's development. But I think we've got enough options if we can bring in another absolute superstar in a wide area, someone with pace, someone who can be a genuine threat for us. And listen, as much as I'd have been made up with the signed Fekir, I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, I think the main motivation for signing him was as you mentioned there, that he could probably play in the middle. He plays a couple of positions. He's sort of one of the, almost looks like the ready-made replacement for Coutinho is what I think they were thinking. But the Brandt and Pulisic, like you mentioned, are players who've been linked with in the past. You wonder whether the move for Shaqiri has probably ruled them out now, but Pulisic was great last night and almost showed Liverpool what they were missing in a sense. I know they got Salah at the same sort of time they linked with him, so probably won't actually miss out on him too much. But he gets 2 goals last night, plays a massive hand in the other one. I'm not sure he caught an assist, but he has the shot which Karius eventually palms into the striker's direction. There was a nice moment after the game as well where I think he's doing an interview with like American TV there, and he had all like the coaches around him, and then a little kid like ran onto the pitch to try and get to him and get his autograph and stuff, and then some heavy-handed security were being jobsworths basically and trying to get the kid away, and Pulisic breaks it off and goes no, like let him get the picture. So seems like a nice enough lad if Liverpool do want to chase him.
Sounds like he'd fit in. He's one of us really, isn't he already? I think he'd very much fit the bill, and there's obvious reasons why we're linked with him with our American owners as well, and his profile in the American market. So I think there's very obvious reasons, but it was nice to see. It was nice to see him actually perform against us last night and show us a little bit of what he's about. And he certainly got fast feet. He certainly got a bit of pace about him, confidence. And I think personally, I think he took last night as an opportunity to showcase his potential against us. Really, an opportunity to maybe to flag himself up again in the manager's mind and in the fans' mind.
Yeah, well, if the Pulisic links do go beyond just me and Stu reporting them in this room, then I'm sure you'll be able to hear it on the gutter. We have recorded one today, which will be out later, which looks more at our rivals' business since Klopp's been trying to kill Paul Senior's content, saying that we won't go for anyone else. But it's still a good listen, so definitely do subscribe to Am4 Rap if you'd like to hear more of that. And also the free show will be out today, which is from the lads in America, filmed on location there. Will feature more of the interviews they got last night and more interesting bits. But nice one to Stu for coming on today. Solid debut, I'd say, Stu.
Great stuff. I'll go back to enjoy me some more oldies.
Nice one.